with it. I put plans and strategies together using it. So whether that's for, like, we ghostwrite a lot of content for multiple accounts. And so what it will help me do is we have these sort of subject matter interviews with experts. And those are usually recorded calls. And so obviously the work of understanding the account and understanding what questions to ask, that stuff comes from me, the human, and then it helps me organize that information, and then we create content out of those. So that's like definitely one of those uses which would take forever in the past, and it doesn't take forever anymore. Most people would assume you're writing the actual blog post or whatever with it, and that's the least of it. I think it's the thinking behind it and just making sure you have the right content. So that's something that I use it a lot for.
Go ahead. Was that for ChatGPT and Claude, or just
for now? We're focusing on Claude.
Okay, so I literally use it every single day. Right now I'm running a campaign and everything, and so it's my campaign buddy. It gave me all my ads. It gave me the ad like breakdown of like actual the script. Then I went and I did it. Then now it's helping me, and I'll show you how to do that. It's super easy. Like I created a tracker, so every day I feed it like the meta results, the Google Analytics, and it tells me, am I doing well? Am I not doing well? Like compared to best practices. So yeah, I agree with you, Susan. I use it that way. I've also built my website, my book website with Claude Code. I basically have like a live dashboard. I operationalized all my money from the different accounts, just a personal dashboard. It's not online. I'm not gonna operationalize it like on the web, but basically, and I have a content hub. So I think it was Michelle who was talking about pulling social media influencers. So I have a content hub, and that's why I said, Michelle, in the chat, look up an API called Appify that literally helps you like pull content directly. And I even have an apartment search that uses the same Appify API to actually look up like apartment website in Toronto. My friend is looking for a place. It's really hard to find a place. So I pretty much do everything, almost everything with it, unless I need a third-party app to maybe do like emails and things like that I can't get rid of.
I'd love to learn more about how you use it for your website, Alice.
Yeah, I
just sent you a connection request, so I don't want to take away from.
Yeah, we can definitely. But yeah, building websites is the first thing I did with it, and honestly, it's what got me like addicted to.
In Claude.
With Claude Code, I did it with Claude Code. You need to do Claude Code either in desktop, or if you want to learn to actually get into the more kind of coding side of it, you can run it from a different interface. But yeah, Claude Code is great for building apps, all sorts of online things. And you can even preview it with artifacts. You can actually preview your website with artifacts. In Claude, first you can create kind of like the sample pages, and then you can say, hey, take this HTML code, because that's what artifacts are in first. And now Claude Code, package it for Claude Code, and now I'm going to go plop it in Claude Code and set up like the GitHub and all the levels of hosting a website, which is what we're going to have to do to have our own website.
Interesting.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. I love these use cases. All right, so this is great segue. So some of what that's different from other AI platforms, but they all have similar type things, right? So like, for example, Gemini has gems, and ChatGPT, I can't even remember what they're called now because it's been a while since I've used it, but they all
GPTs, and they also call it skills now. So
okay, yeah, so there you go. So you have like projects, which is where instead of like opening up a chat every time, you want to try to organize your stuff, especially if you're building a personal brand. So like storing bios, different things like around your, like, again, this is a little confusing to me, but like there's projects, and then there's also customize and skills, right? So I first put in my brand book, my brand guidelines into skills customize. So customize is the first menu, and then you create a skill. And then you add everything about your brand guidelines in there. And then it's pretty good overall at remembering most things. I mean, I say pretty good because it's not great, like, but it could be the quality. I mean, I don't know for sure, but you know, there's always room for improvement. Let's just say that. And then, you know, things around artifacts can generate things like LinkedIn posts and bios and whatnot. And then customize and skills, you can train it for your voice, your style. CoWork is for repetitive tasks. And also, like you referred to, Alice, like setting up website. No, you said Claude, not, sorry, you said code.
Claude code, yeah. But
Yeah.
you're right, coworkers for automation. It's like
Yes.
the office. If you're an office worker doing your office job, basically, and you're using CoWork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the chat is probably where everybody starts, right? It's like where they first start to flex their AI skills is they use the general chat, right? But with Claude, if you rely too much on the chat, it will eventually kick you out and say, like, you've used up all of like, we can't talk about this anymore. It's like talking to your husband. Your husband only has so much capacity to listen to you. And I feel like the chat within Claude is similar, is that it gets to a point where it kicks you out and is like, you got to organize this into a project. And so then you can transfer it over into a project. So projects is just a great place to just like organize yourself, like organize your files. And it can be a place to, you know, some use cases are, you know, keeping all of like your around your personal brand, your voice guidelines, your audience personas, who your brand speaks to. Does anyone else want to add to that, Susan or Alice? No?
Actually, one thing I was going to say I didn't really mention is market research. If competitive research, amazing. Like, that's something that takes so much time for you to actually do manually. But go on the internet, figure out my persona, like business problem. Like I focus on small businesses. So I tell it, go on internet, go on sites like Reddit, which I follow because there's a lot of like raw data there of how people actually feel. So authentically, without like, you know, the cute pictures of Instagram. So then Claude is going to go look up on different social media, on sites online, to actually do the competitive research for you, the pain points, the niche, like the personas, all of that stuff that it would take hours for you to do on your own, or you'd have to hire someone to do who's like a specialist. It can do for you in like 15 minutes, basically. It's if you're starting like a brand, or yeah, you should definitely use it for that. Go ahead, Lovell.
Question.
Yeah, Alice, a question on that, what you just said, for market research. So you mean to say your target audience put their pain points on Reddit and stuff?
Your niche, like, okay, let's say my niche is small business owners. I'm like, okay, go and find on websites where people actually share their problems, like Reddit, authentically. What are the top 10 most common pain points that someone who's let's say a small business owner in the GTA, we should be more specific when it comes to a niche. So you go and you find that, and what they actually say with their voice. So then when you create an ad or you create social, you use their voice, their words in your copy. That's like the ideal. Like, I haven't even set up my content hub that far. This is the ideal North Star because it takes time, but that's how it should be. It should always start with the voice, because you're selling to a person. So you should be speaking to them in their voice, and it's going to go find that for you. You don't have to go copy paste a bunch of like text from a 50 response Reddit thread. It's and even your like personas, like in your niche, your personas, their problem, how they feel about it, how they see themselves. Anyway, like really deep market research that most companies don't even do in general, because it takes time and costs money. So
cool. That's really.
And you need to have a free Reddit account.
No, it just goes. It
Oh,
has
it
an
just
API
goes.
because this is all connections. When I say API, they're all connections. So Claude has a connection. Perplexity is great. I will say the one thing you
Perplexity
can
is
use Perplexity for is to go research. Like if you're doing research, just do that in Perplexity, nothing else. Claude can do it too, but I usually go with Perplexity when I'm just starting like deep research. Like I want to go deep. But yeah, it will go and find it. They have APIs. They pay for this. So
Oh,
And
okay, thank
Lovell,
you.
if you are on ChatGPT, it can do it too. I actually default to
100%.
ChatGPT for like it has a deep research function.
Yes.
Correct.
And it's pretty robust, and because
Yep.
Claude is basically smoking them right now, they're trying their level best to up some of these features.
Right. And I use Perplexity as well for some research, but yeah. So thank you. Yeah,
Both
deep
work
research.
level. Both work. Like I like ChatGPT for market research, marketing. I like
Right.
doing both. It has a personality. It's like two different people responding to you. So
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
And Alice, you were saying yesterday that you tend to use ChatGPT for for creating images.
images in ChatGPT, amazing. It's the best out there. I don't even touch Gemini anymore. Gemini was my abusive husband. I literally started swearing at it, and I almost never do that. It's a machine. It doesn't understand me. And it was like, I understand your frustration. And I'm like, you're like an abusive gaslighter right now. Like I asked you 3 times to do something and you didn't do it. I was like, you're wasted. Anyway, I got really mad. I'm still mad, obviously. Anyway, so I don't use Gemini anymore, just ChatGPT. I started paying the $20 plan because to Susan's point, they're trying to catch up with Anthropic. So they gave me like 1 month free, and then I got hooked. I'm like, this is the best. And then you can do it for free, but you're gonna run out like within 2 prompts, and then you're frustrated and you end up paying. And it's worth
and
it.
there's security as well, right? Like often I say to
Yes.
people, when you're deciding about what to pay for, in some ways, yeah, it is a little depressing that big tech is making us pay for like all of them at this point. Like I definitely pay for all of them.
Me too.
And so it's annoying, but also like just cut things elsewhere because there are many other automation tools that we've all had in our tech stack in some way that if you take a look at it, you can remove some of those and then try these out. So the reason I say pay for it is because security, like to different levels, your data is a bit more secure, and then the real power from some of these is giving it access to, like we were talking about, your inbox and your whatever. And then if you're using any type of like questionable security agreement, you're opening yourself up to, even though we're small, governance issues, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, good point. All right, so then the next feature for Claude is artifacts. So when Claude generates a piece of structured content, it renders it in the clean side panel. So, if you're asking it to create something, you can see that on the right-hand side. So it's perfect for podcast transcripts, content calendars, speaking proposals. And I noticed that it tends to put it into HTML or things like that. And so like if you're asking it for graphics, then you have to say like, turn this now. Okay, I see what you've rendered, but now turn it into a PNG. Or recently I've been saying a lot like, this is great, but now I want it in a Google Doc, right? So like all of my presentations, all of my workbooks, all of that type of stuff that gets created first as an artifact. And then I ask it to make it so that I can click on it and it literally will open up in my Google Drive. So that's one thing that I really like about Claude is how easy it is to work with my Google Drive. So I like it from that perspective. Just with anything that you're creating, obviously fact check and edit and personalize it. I think it was Susan that I borrowed this example from quite a while ago. It's like, it should be a palette, like an art palette, not a photocopier.
paintbrush, not photocopier.
Yeah, I even got that messed up.
It's in the book. Yeah. No, it's not messed up, but you're right. It's like, it's more and more of us are realizing that pretty much anything you can think about has already been thought about, AI notwithstanding. So how do we remix? How do we curate? And how do you bring to Leigh's point about a personal brand? Like, how do you stand out even though you might be doing the exact same thing as the person beside you?
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of artifacts, Leigh, do you want me to show 1 or 2 examples or the Claude design while we have time?
Yes,
Just
let's do
be
it.
mindful.
Yeah.
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 Just quickly, and then
Yeah. So I'll stop sharing my screen.
can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I had a presentation here, but that's for tomorrow anyway. Sorry about that. Okay, I have the links here. So I wanted to start by showing a PowerPoint that I made. As I was building out my website, my offer, all of that, I was like, am I even doing a good job? I don't know. So all I did is I went into Claude Artifacts and I asked it to create an audit. Actually, no, I just went into Claude and asked it to audit my website, my SEO, my offer, and a few other things. And then it came up with a PowerPoint. So I'm just going to open the PowerPoint directly right here. And all I've given it is my brand colors. It's not even that nice, but these are my brand colors, which you can put in your instructions in the settings. And then it gave me an executive summary. It graded me on SEO, offers, pricing, and marketing. Obviously, I have a lot of work to do. It gave me an audit like checklist, what I have, what I don't have for SEO, recommendations, offer ladder, opportunities, gaps, pricing targets, competitive. Like I hadn't even done any of this like myself. So I was like, wow, I should do more of this. But it did it for me and it gave me a 90-day growth playbook, which I've already done one and I'm in the middle of doing days 31 to 60. But this was like literally a 10-minute thing. I gave it my website. I told it to do this and it came back with this presentation. And it could have been a PDF. It could have been a different format. That's one example that I think is really powerful. If I close this. Another one that I was talking about the campaign that I did and how I wanted it to analyze it and tell me how well I'm doing. So that's another one that I did. Oops, it's searching it. Why is it searching it? Okay, that's fine. I can just go in Claude here. And it was in chat.
No, because when you copied the link, the first two alphabets got HT got truncated. So
Okay, good to know because I copied the link of, okay, I guess that's not a best practice. Hold on, where did it go? I just want to show you.
It'd be great if you could walk us through the back end since you're already here. There's no point in me doing it now that you're here. If you don't
Oh,
mind.
sure, I can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
One other thing I did do is I actually got it to give me an offer page. So that's another one I can show you. Open in Google. So this is just when we're talking about connecting it. For example, you have a transcript of a call with a client on your Google Drive. You connect it and you just ask it, like, go through the transcript and based on the conversation, create an offer page that basically you can send the client. I did not make it do a transcript. I just made it go through my coaching notes in my coaching folder on the Google Drive, and it just created this. And it was like, and I haven't touched it. I can make it much better, improve it. Okay, so let me show you kind of how to set it up. I'm gonna close this. So I'm gonna talk to you about the desktop app. If you have Claude and you're paying, might as well. This is where they all are, Chat, CoWork, and Code. But online it's the same. If you're in the browser, you just go to the bottom left, settings. And then in general, right here where you see this massive window, instructions for Claude, this is where you customize it to your business. So you can, even ask it to ask you questions. A lot of times when you're not sure where to start, you can ask AI to tell you where to start, basically, and to ask you questions to get to the point where it can do with clarity and confidence what you need it to do. So if you're not sure how to even describe it, you can be like, hey, Claude, I'm trying to put instructions about my business so you can do a better job at creating work for me. What do I need to put in there? Ask me questions that I can respond to until you have enough information. And it will do it for you. And so this is what this is. So my name, sorry, go ahead. Oh, I think there was a question. No? Okay.
I don't think so. I didn't see it.
Okay, I thought it was someone was trying to talk. So I just put my name, my business, what I'm trying to do, my offer, my goals, and my brand palette. Since we're talking about branding, I think that's really important. So then it's gonna actually create documents that look like my brand. And then also you can add your website, your offers. You can give it as much information as you want. This is honestly not even that much information. And of course, very, very important, I'm missing one here, how to respond. Write like a human, not a content mill, no M dashes. No, it's not just X, it's Y. No, in today's fast-paced world, et cetera, et cetera. So basically telling it not to talk like a robot. And you can say it in other ways as well. You can give it your tone, give it also, you can train it on your blog posts, your writing, if Susan wrote a book, she can put her book in there. Like when I was creating content for my book, I would just feed my book to Claude and I would just tell it to work with my book directly. So it knows how you sound and it can sound like you. So that's the first step in customizing it. And then like Leigh said, you always create projects. Project is a work stream. It can be a client. It can be a type of job, but always start with a project because it's going to actually remember the history once you start a project. So it's like a chat with a history. So it doesn't run out of memory. It will always keep all the information in one place, files, etc. So I'm just going to cancel this. And one other thing here are the artifacts that I talked about. So let's see if I can actually, yeah, there's this artifact that I wanted to show you. So this is the one, dashboard. Okay, so it was published, but for whatever reason, the URL didn't work. I didn't copy it properly. But this is basically 2 screenshots. One screenshot of my Facebook account, Meta Ads, performance, and one screenshot of Google Analytics. And it basically gave me my campaign for over a week, how it's performed. And it's made it, I told it, hey, like, it's great you're giving me numbers, but I don't know if I'm doing well or I'm not doing well. So I want you to make where I'm doing well green, and if I'm not doing well, red. So far, it looks like I'm above average or at least average. It even says how much. And it also gives me insights because I don't want just data, I want insights, which is where it's giving you all this in like literally 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So yeah, this is like really powerful once you start kind of using it as your advisor, like Susan said. And then why you want to be in CoWork, I won't even go into code today because I don't even use it here, but it's here if you need it. If you want to test building a website, you can test building a website. Coach K, you can totally go in there and start and see what it says. If you don't have a big plan though, like I have the $100 plan and I need it, but if you don't, then start from the beginning properly. Otherwise it's going to cost you quickly. So here we have scheduled. So these are tasks that you've scheduled. So you connect, like Leigh was talking about customizing. You come here, you customize, you have skills, you have connectors. So this is where I've connected to Canva, Gmail, Google, Drive, etc., which I think most of you already are based on what it sounds like. And then you can come and schedule tasks that basically I have a daily briefing every morning at 8 a.m. It runs through my email and it checks my calendar and it tells me what I'm supposed to do. I clean up my folders every week. I invoice monthly this client and it helps me create the invoice. I have a monthly expenses analysis that it does for me, Monday content ideas, weekly Canva content creation, and a quarterly business audit. So I like that audit that I created, and I was like, I should do this every quarter. So that's pretty much it.
Kadeen has a question.
Sure.
Not really a question, more a comment. This sounds amazing, but like very overwhelming, if I'm being honest.
I know, because I'm doing it in 5 minutes. So
yeah,
actually,
so I feel like for me personally, I need like step by step by
Yeah.
step, like do this, do that. Yeah. So, but
so
no, you're
just
blowing my
like
mind with all the things that it
sorry.
can do. It sounds amazing. Like even the integrations, I haven't done any integrations yet, like with Canva or anything like that. But
No.
yeah, that's amazing to learn that it can do and has all those capabilities. But
Just a note about the Canva integration from my perspective is I hate it. So I actually
Me
turned
too. I hate it.
I hate it.
I hate it
It's
too.
like, it just every time I asked for a presentation, it would try to do it in Canva, and Canva just does not do good presentations with AI, in my humble opinion. So I disconnected that. Did not like that.
Yeah, I tested it, and it's not something, honestly, you would need a lot of intervention.
yeah, okay.
But where it does help Canva is that, like, if you started your personal brand or your website, whatever it is, in Canva, and you know all your colors and all those other things, then it's quite useful to download that brand guide and then send it to Claude, and then ask Claude to make to walk you through setting up an intensive, exhaustive brand guidelines that you can then add as a skill, and then it starts to remember everything, and the output starts to get better. Like it's doing what you want it to do more. Yeah. Lovell, you had a question or a comment?
Comment. And so if anybody has used Gamma is really good for presentation, PowerPoint presentations, and those are editable. And Kadeen, I have a suggestion. I know you said, it gets overwhelming. Two things. One is Leigh's recording this, so you can go watch the recording, pause it, activate it, or write notes, or actually give it to AI to transcribe it for you. And then you can, in the document, you can highlight. Second suggestion I have is you could go to Claude itself and say, walk me through the whole process. How do I do this?
That's true.
And it is going to give you step by step what you need to do, and you can take it from there.
Okay, good idea. Thank you.
Actually, I just want to kind of name drop myself because I'm going to do a webinar tomorrow evening. So if anyone wants to join, I put the registration here. We're going to go more in depth, but also Anthropic, which created Claude, has free resources online. Anthropic University is very simple. It walks you through everything. It's free. It's from them. So definitely, if you want to start with the basics, just at least so you know where you're starting, you have free resources from the actual company that you can start with as well.
Perfect. Is anyone able to stay on a little bit longer? Because I just wanted to show you my positioning prism, just to, if that helps for anyone who wants to stay. Anyone who has to go, they can access the recording afterwards. But I just wanted to just share a few more things that I hope you might find useful. All right, so we thank you so much for sharing the back end of your Claude. I think that's great. So we talked about Claude CoWork, and you were giving some great examples of things that you do specifically to do that. So basically, the Claude CoWork is for working on your desktop, just for people to understand, right? So code is to make things that are coded, like if you want to gamify, make a website, or make a survey or a quiz or a game or anything like that, you can play with Claude Code. And then Claude CoWork is used for your computer, right? So automating tasks. It also, one thing that I do is I will take a video and ask it to create clips, and say pick the best clips that will get the best results, and save those into clips, and then they're ready to go onto my hard drive. So those are just some examples that you can use there. As I mentioned, on our website, we have we're building a prompt library, and we continue to add to it. So there's all kinds of prompts on everything you can think of for Claude within the back end of our website. So here are just a few examples of prompts that you can give it. So I'm not going to linger on this in the essence of time. LinkedIn content prompts, so hook generators, event recaps, creating content calendars. But I wanted to just talk a little bit about how I have trained it to know my positioning prism. So when I'm working with someone, I want to teach them, how they can best get people to trust you, right? And to work with you. So number one in the positioning prism is your promise, right? So what is it that you're delivering? Who do you deliver it to? And what is your unique perspective that you bring to that? And what is your proof? And one of the people that I think does an amazing job at this is Kadeen. I think she does a great job of like showing it, at least from my perspective, on her posts. I think that she probably doesn't know she's using the positioning prism, but I think she definitely I think she does a good job of that. So I just wanted to shout out her. So if you're
Thank you for that, because I feel like I'm struggling.
I think you do. I think we're always hardest on ourselves, and sometimes you need an outside perspective to know that you're maybe doing better than what you think you are, because we're harder on ourselves. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to end with a couple of just some screenshots, just so that it's hard to remember where everything comes in Claude, because there's so many menus. So this is Claude Customize, or Customize Claude. It's great to connect your apps from the back end here. So there's a whole directory of plugins that you can check out for this specifically. And they also recommend some. And then I haven't looked into this yet, but they have a whole area on sales that you can explore. And as I mentioned, those connectors. So this is just an example of the sales things that you could do, that it's prompting you, right? So you don't have to come up with all of this. It's giving you some use cases that you might find helpful. And so then so there's tons of places on the internet where you can grab good customized prompts. And so, as I mentioned, I've been building a library for a while now, and on our portal, you can access these. And so this is an example of one that's on our portal that I have set up in Skills. So this one is a YouTube description optimizer, but there's other ones that I've set up, like podcast promotion, competitor research, landing page optimizer. You can see, and you can go and take a look at these later when you grab the recording. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. Happy to take a couple of questions if anybody just wants to reflect, ask any questions. If you, Alice, have anything more to add. Level has a question or a comment.
I have a question for either Susan or Alice. So like I said, I have a ChatGPT $20 paid version. Is it for that, as well as for my free Claude, whatever, is it better to use a desktop version? Because I have not used any desktop versions of anything. I'm only using it on the web. Is there a difference? Do you get something more, or either or is okay?
In my experience for Claude, and I think ChatGPT too, because I use Codex, if you want to connect things, I think you need to be in the desktop version, like connect your email, at least with Claude for sure. Like if you want to connect your email, your drives, all of those connections and skills, I think you have to be in the desktop. The chat is the same in both. I don't know about ChatGPT because I haven't used both enough to tell you if it's the same.
Okay, thank you.
Just for website builders, one that I use specifically that I'm finding is really easy to use is Lovable. So anyone who's interested in that, that's another potential workshop idea that I can sort of give you. One of my previous students taught me, so I've become a bit addicted to it. So I actually pay for my Lovable account, and I go between paying $20 a month or 25, I can't remember what it is, $20 or $25 a month, down to, when I'm never using it, down to $5. So to keep it just functioning properly, your website functioning properly, and not having the Lovable logo at the bottom of the website, you can just put it into almost like a static, so that it's just, you're just paying to keep everything in good operating order. But then if you're going to be prompting it a lot, like let's say you want to make changes frequently, then you'd probably want to switch to the 2025, the pro version. So I think it's pretty cool, but they do have a completely free version of it. But again, like any platform, you run out of credits pretty quickly. So that I don't know any AI platform that doesn't require you to be topping up credits, you know, so it's like freemium, but it's, in these particular tools, it's pretty hard not to pay for accounts. Yeah. So anyway, so that's one that I use. So Alice, if you want to tell us a little bit about your webinar tomorrow, because I think you go into things that weren't covered in here. So I think it would be great for anyone to join that one as well.
So the name of the webinar tomorrow is how to start building your AI employee. So we saw a little bit kind of today, we didn't have a lot of time for demo, but we're going to spend mostly the time in demo and showing how to set up Claude and some of the automations that you can have, and I can show how to set them up. It's going to be open to the people who come there, and if I can do their particular workflow during the call, I will. It's just to show, because there's really a gap between what AI can do and what we know it can do. And so it's helping small business owners close that gap and understand how to move from level to level of getting more proficient with AI.
One other quick thing, if you don't mind, you were going to show us, because I'm curious to see it.
Oh, the Claude design?
Yeah, because that's new.
Sure,
and I've never seen it before. Michelle, pay attention to this.
Claude design. Okay, let me share my screen again. So this came out actually 2 months ago, maybe now, but because that's how it made us more frustrated than anything else, it kind of didn't. It's another one of those. Okay, so generally speaking, Claude is not the best for design, but they are trying and are getting better. This was their first attempt at becoming design forward. And if you ever build a website, you'll learn that there's skills, and one of the skills you need is the design skill, so your website doesn't look terrible. But if you can see my screen now, this is claude.ai/design. Everyone has access to this. If you have a Claude account, you have access to this. And here you can start by telling it your design system. I haven't done that, but you basically set up your design system. If you have like your company, again, the same thing I set up in settings, I can put it here, but add more design descriptions. And maybe Leigh, you're better than me from a marketing perspective to talk about the brand ethos and all of that. But basically, you set that up. If there's any design files you want to add, you can add them here. I haven't, because I wanted it to create the design for me. But if you have a brand that you're starting with, let's say you already have a brand, you like it, but you wanted to create some social media posts for you, or you wanted to design an ebook for you or something from the existing brand, then that's what you would do. I wanted it to design the brand for me, so I didn't do that. So you can start with that. Otherwise, it's very much the same. It's like project-based. You create a project. So I'll show you one of my projects. Unfortunately, it actually deleted one of my first project, which was my website redesign. But if I show you my website, it was basically designed, the current version of it. I don't know why I'm Googling website. Like, that's the name of it. But this was designed basically, like, it was first designed without this, just with like basic colors. And then I redid a design in Claude Design, being like, hey, I want it to be warmer. Right now it's kind of, it looks professional and all, but I want it to be warmer. So it came up with these kinds of.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful for like an AI made website. Like, I'm not a design expert. So I'm very happy with.
What's the host though? I just so I understand. So who hosts this website?
This is hosted on Vercel. So the stack for a website is you create it in Claude, let's say, or Lovable. I'm not sure how Lovable works actually, because I didn't work with them, but I know they created. I'm not sure if they host it too. Otherwise, it's hosted on Vercel, and you just need a GitHub layer, which is a coding. It's just a coding repository. You don't need to think about it too much. Every single app out there in this world has a GitHub account. So you just open an account and then you link, and then you go to Vercel and that hosts it. And that's it. Like, I don't touch GitHub or Vercel at all. Like, it's all, once you connect it and you set it up the first time, after that, I don't touch anything but Claude code. And that's where I tell it what to update and talk to Claude. But other than that, I don't do anything else. Like, once I set it up.
But you're paying for those platforms?
No, They're free. They're all free.
Oh, I would love someone to teach me how to do that.
Yeah, I can send you a video of this guy I followed, and I basically did what he said to do, and yeah.
Can you send it to me too, and then I'll add it as part of like a our wrap up.
Awesome,
Yeah,
Alex.
I can definitely do that. But yeah, I did that in less than in 24 hours. I created one website, and in another less than 24, I created a second one. Because what you really need is like a brand document, which is always this, or like a product, like a requirement of like, these are the sections. This is what I'm saying. This is my niche. This is who I'm targeting. That is really truly what matters the most. The rest is AI will do it. Okay, so back to this. I want to create a live dashboard. So I have this like portfolio tracking that I had before. I wanted to add a dashboard to it. So I basically said, I want to build a multi-goal dashboard with 3 main live goals to be tracked weekly, monthly, etc. I gave it also a screenshot. Always give screenshots for anything image related. Otherwise your usage is going to be eaten up so quickly by this. Like that's why I don't use design, is because it eats up your usage. So, but it creates like beautiful, like it created this dashboard for me basically. And now I know if I want to create an app, I can just copy this, right? If I'm creating a prototype of something, this is perfect. If I was going to go sell this to someone, I can show them already what they're going to be doing. And I can create an artifact with it. And you can actually here, when you say share, you can export it to like a HTML. There was an option to export it as, I guess, hold on, let's see. There's an option to export it to Claude Code, but anyway, they've changed it. But then you can like just give it to Claude Code and it will create a website from it, or this actual app from it. It will create the app. But I want to know what it looks like, because Claude Code is not good at this, like the design. It's good at building things, but it's not good at designing. So you start here and then you say, okay, this is what I want. And then it could be a PowerPoint. It could be, I created these 2 reports that I want to sell on Etsy, and I'm going to end here after this. So I can just show you really quickly. I don't know why it's not. Okay, let's see. Apologies that it's, I just need to find these reports. Where are they? Here. So I want to sell these like business, like my business, human design. I don't know if you guys know what human design is, but it doesn't matter. It created like Claude Design created this aesthetic.
Wow.
And it created 4 of them because it's a series. It's a series of 4. This one is on business, another one on financial, doesn't matter, love, and so on. It's like astrology based. So that's kind of like what it helps with. So once I create the brand ethos, I'm like, I'll take this and now I'll get Claude Code to actually build me the report, because there's no way you're going to run out of usage very quickly in Claude Design.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for your amazing questions and for fully showing up and participating. I feel like this shows that it was super valuable. I love the show and tell. So yeah, any feedback, any suggestions, I'm open to them. If you have other topics that you're interested in, I think I've gotten a few ideas just from like just seeing how people are struggling with building out different things and what they need support with. But if you have any other ideas, feel free to share. And yeah, just have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you for being here.
I have a question.
Leigh, the next session is in 2 weeks. It is every 2 weeks, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because I was trying to do like every week, but I just don't have the bandwidth, right? So like every second week. So I'm sort of combining the podcast and like I'm actually thinking there's a way that I could probably put sections of this as a podcast episode. So I'm looking for ways to anyway, that's a very long-winded answer every second week. Yeah.
And every time then you will send us a new link, right?
Exactly. So I'm just going to keep adding it to your calendar. So today, so like in the next couple of days, oh, there's one other thing. So I want to do a leadership circle. So once a month, there is a leadership circle, and it is on the events calendar. So everything that we do is on the events calendar, but how you sign up is through just a regular appointment request. So if you go to our website, click on the events calendar, all of the latest events, including member events, are listed on that, which is AI. So basically all I do, so it's a lovable website, and all I do is I say what it is that I want added, and then it automatically does it. And it even built me a visual view of the calendar. So that's what I'm using. I feel like in no time, I'm probably going to move away from WordPress, because I just don't have the bandwidth to like play with all the techie shit anymore. I'm like, I just want it done for me. So, and it knows, and the other cool thing is that it knows to take it off the calendar when it's done. So like it's pretty smart. Yeah. And Kadeen, you also had something coming up that sounded really interesting as well. It was an alignment course.
Yeah, it's actually just an alignment. I'm trying to get leaders to be more aligned at their core with who they are and stop leading from a place of like fear and trying to lead with all of the things. So for more confidence. Sorry, I'm not feeling 100% today, so I'm probably not doing a good job of explaining it. But yeah, I have that's coming up on the 15th. And it's just really just a pilot thing. It's really just a psychological safe space for leaders just to come and kind of map out exactly what are their values so they can lean more into their values and not operating on autopilot.
Yeah, I've signed up for that. And there's only one session, right?
No, there's the 15th
No,
and the
there's not.
22nd. I'm running the exact same session twice. And again, if I'm just seeing how it goes, if it is well received, then I will continue it on later on throughout the year. But for now, I'm just trying to see who needs it and who would like attend.
Yeah, I've registered for the first one. So
yay, thank you.
Yay.
Great.
So Leigh, just one more thing. I think the website, there is some issue today. I'm not being able to log in. I was going to go, every time I keep clicking on login and it just doesn't take me there. Maybe it's me. I've changed the browser as well. Anyone else has an issue today, or?
Let me see if I can do it. So I'm gonna stop this share of the screen. Okay, so stop sharing. Okay, and do I have it open already? No, I closed it. Nope, I don't. I do have it open. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. So this is the website. So I have two websites just because I like to keep things super confusing. I'm joking. So there is the Women in Biz Network website, and then the membership site is on the Changemaker Co. That's where I built the course out, which essentially is, it's essentially because like when you have like, when your website is trying to do a lot of things, can get really slow. So this is a way in which I find that it's a little bit easier. And there is a tutorial on how to use the website, just for those of you who could appreciate that. And I have a Google Doc. So there's a Google Doc that walks you through how to reset your password, anything that you need. Okay, so let me just.
So I'm going into the link that you sent through when I joined the membership, and when I go click on login, it just
okay. So let me just show you quickly then, just to make it easier for you. Have you opened up the Google Doc that I sent you? I send all of the members a Google Doc with like how to use it.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is I would only use it once I get inside, right? So when I click on login, it's not asking me for a username or password. It's just getting stuck at login.
Okay. All right. So, so just so you understand, the Google Doc has screenshots of everything, just so that if you like everything that you might have a problem with, I try to put everything in there. So what you would do is there's two ways. What the one issue that Deborah was having issues with resetting her password through here. So I added this version. So if one of them isn't working for you, try the other one. So this one seems to work really well for resetting password. So you click on that, and then it takes you to this screen. Have you seen that level?
I saw it once, yeah. When I
Okay.
changed my password, I had
Okay.
seen it, yeah.
So this is how you would log in. And for those of you that want to reset your password from what it was like originally created for you, you just go and click on lost your password, and then you reset it. And everybody who's done it that way seems to have a better outcome. So again, I'll just show you that one more time. So you go to, and I've added this to the Google Doc that you all have access to as well. Okay, so share screen. So if you're having trouble logging in, I suggest instead of using this one up at the top right-hand side here, you use this one that says log into membership.
Yeah, no, actually I changed the browser now, so it worked on that other browser. Maybe some cookies were blocking it or something.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
So there's just like, you know, no website is perfect, and there are some like kind of weird things. So I just that particular one that I just showed you now, I suggest using that if you have to reset your password. Because the other login that's in the top right-hand side, for whatever reason, does not make it easy to reset your password.
Okay,
So,
got it. Thank you.
any other questions?
Just one quick one, Leigh. Alice mentioned she's having the webinar tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
She says she posted somewhere on here the link to.
I put it in the chat.
Yeah, I don't see
Let me
it.
see if it's like going to. Does anyone else see my responses? I posted both the webinar and the free Claude admin learn. Okay, otherwise I can share my screen for both.
No, it is not there. Do you want to put it again?
Yeah, this is weird. I'll just share my screen so I can show it to you, and you can and I'll put it in. It's just small business aicoach.com webinar, and I'll put it in the chat again. Let me know if you see it now. I don't know if it's because I see other people's.
No, it still didn't come through.
It's weird anyway, because I see other people's chats, but that's okay. And I wanted to show you just the Anthropic. Learn. That's the one for the free courses of Claude. So yeah. Were you able to find it, Michelle?
I'm just typing in the URL myself. I
Thank
didn't
you.
see it coming.
Yeah. I know. I don't know why. I literally posted 3 different things, and I even posted a message to you, and you.
I know, but I didn't see it
Yeah.
until much later. Like when I scroll back up, I see it come in.
Yeah.
For some reason, there seems to be a delay of some kind.
It must be because I actually put this in like 20 minutes ago. It's weird. But
Maybe
thank you for asking.
Maybe next time I can use Zoom if I don't know, like maybe there's some bugs with Google Meet.
Yeah, it's
Zoom.
weird, but it should have because I see them and I see the other. But it is okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But send it to me too, Alice, and then what I'll do is I'll just send out an email with like everything that we talked about so that everyone has. And actually, I could even add it to the calendar.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
I will do that right now. But yeah, Michelle, you definitely should check out Appify. It's a great API, and you have a free tier. They all have a free tier in the beginning.
Yeah,
So,
I just asked Claude about it.
okay.
Then it's asking me to try something else first before,
Okay.
because it says Appify needs to be paid. at some point.
Well, they have a free tier. That's what I mean. It's like depends what you're doing it for. So if you're using it monthly, you're okay on the free tier if for the social. But if you want to update it every day, it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, it's recommending me to try out YouTube like transcript API first. So
That works too.
he said, oh, or she, I don't know, Claude. But it suggested if it doesn't work, then we'll go fall back to
Sounds
Apify.
good.
Yeah.
Michelle, I love how you name your project, or you have agents. Yeah. So Michelle's gotten into doing agents and she gives them names.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
so-
sister's husband has given his, and he yells at him. It's a him in his case.
Okay, I do need to jump off. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Leigh. Nice
meeting
meeting you
you.
all, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Take
Okay,
care.
sounds good.
Nice meeting you.
Bye.